Today, there are 1,200 billionaires on this planet. And what it used to take a large government agency to do, a small group of dedicated individuals with the right computational capabilities can now do.
Private or government, foreign or American, to get to the moon this century requires that everyone must overcome the same set of hurdles. Because there will be nothing on the moon until humans put it there. No shelter, no transportation, no food and water, no electricity, no spacesuits, no landers, nothing. Every person, habitat, vehicle, nut, bolt, and scrap of food must be lifted off the Earth and transported 250,000 miles through space. Step 1 for getting back to the moon is also the hardest. Get this unprecedented load out of Earth's gravity.
Escaping Earth's gravity is kind of like climbing out of a well. And you start out at the bottom of the well. And it's going to be a lot of work to climb your way out.
NASA calls its new moon program Constellation. Plans call for not one rocket, but 2. Put people on a small rocket, which will be called Ares 1. Put everything else needed for a lunar settlement on a larger rocket, Ares 5. This monster will stand nearly 400 feet tall, taller than the Statue of Liberty, and be the largest rocket ever built.
Go.
Together, these 2 rockets will be able to lift twice as much as the giant Saturn V rocket of the 1960s.
15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12.
40 years ago, during the Apollo program, it carried astronauts and all their equipment to the moon. But the new Ares 5 will carry 10% more.
Instead of having a maximum payload of about 48 metric tons that the Saturn could deliver, you can probably get that up to about 54 metric tons, which means that you can have a larger landing vehicle. You can take 4 crew instead of 2. Just a whole bunch of additional advantages for having that larger payload.
But designing 2 new rockets can take years, and lots of failures along the way. So NASA's not going to start from scratch.
What we've come up with is actually to use heritage systems off the shuttle and Apollo, which, number one, gives us a lot of reliability data. We have a lot of experience with flying those, so our likelihood of failure goes way down.
The first stage of the crew vehicle, Ares 1, is a solid rocket booster. It's the same one used on the space shuttle, but extended for more power. The second stage has an update of the 1960s Apollo engine. The heavy lifter, Ares 5, will be powered by 2 of the same larger shuttle boosters, and a cluster of 5 main engines derived from the ones used on another large rocket, the Delta IV. NASA engineers have spent 50 years making their launch systems safer and more reliable. But tragic accidents happen.
Engines beginning throttling down now.
When the shuttle Challenger blew up 73 seconds after launch in 1986, there was no escape system. No way for the astronauts to survive. That's a design mistake NASA's determined not to repeat. The new crew capsule, called Orion, looks a lot like the old Apollo, only larger. And like Apollo, it will have a way to save the crew from disaster.
On Orion, we actually have a launch escape system, launch abort system, that allows us to abort at any phase during the launch.
The launch abort system is another small rocket mounted on top of Orion. If something goes wrong during launch, the abort system's powerful engine can instantly fire, pulling the capsule and astronauts clear at 600 miles per hour. For For several seconds, they must endure the high G-forces normally experienced by fighter pilots before parachutes open, returning them and their capsule to Earth, shaken but still alive. As of today, NASA's aiming to have Constellation's lunar program designed, built, tested, and ready to launch in 10 years.
Final launch readiness poll.
Standard go.
It's the year 2020. At the Kennedy Space Center, the Orion capsule and its crew of 4 are just seconds away from heading back to the moon. Once off the launch pad, Ares 1's first stage solid rocket burns for just over 2 minutes, punching the Orion crew capsule through the air at over 4,000 miles an hour, more than 5 times the speed of sound.
Coming up on stage 1 separation event.
The spent first stage then separates, and the second stage fires, carrying the spacecraft to an altitude of 83 miles above the Earth.
We have confirmed bearing separation.
No longer needed, the launch abort system is jettisoned. Orion's service module engine takes it into low Earth orbit, 200 miles above the planet.
Avionics and booster power systems are nominal.
Orion then unfurls the solar panels that will supply power. The first step of the new lunar mission is almost complete. The people are off the Earth. Now they need their equipment. Ares 5 blasts off next.
Hi. We're going to, how you like those videos? Those videos are fantastic. You've been to the moon. They had a problem about going to the bathroom. But right now, we're going to have a explanation from Mr. Ransani about those videos. And he's going to talk about scholarships, too. We have a short period of time because we love those videos.
These videos are meant to motivate and excite the ninth grade kids. I mean, we're using these videos as supplements to our curriculum to get them excited about overcoming the aspects of gravity, flying to the moon, setting up habitats in the moon.
What about the scholarships?
Science fair. There are 3 scholarships. We're offering full-time scholarships, one to Prince George County County Community College, and 2 to the University of Maryland.
Hey,
Baltimore
fantastic.
County.
You know, you heard it here and you saw a terrific video. Now remember, the science fair is very important. Take the young kids out there and motivate them. Make sure that you go to a science fair because that's what the kids need, motivation, before they get in high school. See you next time. That's it.
That more than